Hello everyone, I'm Krasia Tasio and I have amazing guest here, Jo Bradley, and she is psychic medium, but a very extraordinary one. And you know that I'm inviting only amazing people on my channel, not just everyone. I heard about Jo from another very good medium, and Jo is among the few people in the world who can really manifest images of the people that of our beloved ones, that the people that we lost. Jo is also psychic, doctor, surgeon, and it is really so, without any exaggeration. Thank you very much, Jo, for joining us. And I want to ask you to tell us more about yourself, to introduce yourself and tell us what are you doing. Just to say that you're living in the UK, right?
I am living in the UK, lived here all my life, although actually next year I'm travelling about quite a lot. I was the second child of 4, born psychic, had the classic imaginary friend, saw and spoke to spirit from the age of 4, that's the earliest I remember it really. Didn't really do a lot with my mediumship until I got to a certain point in my life, and you know, you can't contain it. Eventually ended up going to the College of Psychic Studies in London, where I studied under Tony Stockwell, who is an amazing man, amazing tutor. And he said to me one day, you know, you're a physical medium. And I was a bit puzzled, and I never heard of the term before, and I just said, oh, okay.
Physical medium, I'm repeating, physical medium, because you're manifesting the appearance, oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, physical mediumship is when the medium's energy, literally energy, and also energy that they can draw from the body, i.e. ectoplasm, can be used to literally manifest in the room, so that they can be seen and heard and felt and smelt. People forget to use their noses as well, where they can create an ectoplasmic voice box, which we are lucky we have filmed that. We do have a 2-minute video of an ectoplasmic voice box sitting on my shoulder. And literally they can use all of these things to be almost temporarily back in our physical world. You can't dispute what you see and hear with your own ears and eyes. I also do trance mediumship, although when I'm sitting for physical, a lot of the time I'm in a slightly altered state, but I'm still participating.
What is this? Please, Jo, explain us. What is the trance mediumship?
Trance medium is where you allow spirit to blend with you, and it's an altered state. But there are lots and lots of different layers to that. So everyone can do it, because the first layer is meditation. So when you meditate and you're really lost in that meditation, you're not really aware of anything that's going on around you. You're not aware of your physical body. And then it starts to deepen from there. So you would then get an overshadowing, where, you know, you can really feel someone starting to blend with your mind, and it will just deepen and deepen and deepen. Some will go on to be mediums where they will have no memory of it. Majority, though, actually can hear what's being said. So it just gives spirit the opportunity to actually blend and then use your mouth to speak their words.
I see.
So it's just a matter of getting your consciousness out of the way, really. Now, when I first started trance, I found it the most peculiar state of mind. I couldn't get used to it. I fought against it a lot. I used to feel like I was going to vomit. And people laugh, and I still remember that feeling. You know, if you think when you're in a car and you get that car sickness, or you're on a boat and you get that really bad feeling like I'm going to projectile vomit. Well, this used to happen to me when I was meditating, and I would have to come rushing back out of meditation, you know, run out, get some air. It was awful. And also it made me feel, because one of my guides is White Eagle, so he is a huge man, he's nearly 7 foot tall. I'm only 5'4". So when they really start to blend with you, you will feel their body size. You feel all these physical effects with trance. And also that's why a lot of students get quite confused. Well, I could feel them, so it must be physical mediumship. No, it's trance. That's just how the blending is. But one thing I will just settle for people, lots of people say to me, oh, I'm not sure I want them to get in my body. They don't. They don't. It feels like that when you get a really good connection. It can feel like they're trying to push you out and step in. But actually, it's your consciousness. There's only space in your physical body for you. So, and even when we talk about classic possessions, and there are a few, not many, most possessions are in people's imagination. You know, they're not actually possessing you as in getting in your body, but they are very, very close. It's like they're draping off of you in your aura. And so you lose a sense of who you are. So there are lots of different layers to that. So yeah, that's basically, and then I teach on the subject. I run retreats, and I'm an author. I write books.
Where are you? You are announcing your retreats on your Facebook page, right?
Yeah,
I can link
on my Facebook page.
Yes, just to say that under this video, I will put link to your Facebook page, because all information on what you're doing in your retreats is on your Facebook page.
Yeah, and people can just message me on Facebook as well. Just send me a private message if you want to know anything. I have got various pages actually. So I've got like a Joe Bradley spiritual retreat page, and I've got a Joe Bradley psychic surgeon page, because that's another aspect of my work.
Say about this also, please. What is
I'm used to psychic surgery.
Yes, please explain.
But what happens is I am in like an overshadowed state. So I simply am required to place my hands on someone. I will get drawn to where so someone might have a stomach problem, for instance. So I will be asked to place my hands on their stomach. And the best way I can describe it, because there is a team of spirit doctors that work with me, the best way is that I place my hands and they feel like they're super glued. I can't remove them until they've actually finished. But what they do is they manifest their surgeon's hands, go in through my fingers inside the body. And so sitters or clients will say, oh, I can feel things moving in there. Yeah, you will be able to. It's the surgeon's hands. It's not painful. They say it feels weird. They go, oh, I can feel things moving about inside my body. Yeah, that's surgery. I never know when someone comes if they're going to operate. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just because it's about pain relief. But it's when someone has a healing, they say to me, oh, you're a wonderful healer. I'm not a healer. I'm just, they're the healers. I just allow them to use my physical essence, really. That's it. So I would never claim that I heal people. I don't. They do. But when it happens, it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yes, this is amazing. But this is why this is what I wanted to. Since you see beyond our reality, I wanted to ask you exactly this. What do you see? I know it's just very general. I will try to narrow it down. Of course, it's very general, but because you see what we don't see, and you, my question is exactly the things that you see beyond our realm, but in relation to time, because we live in illusionary linear time, and it is illusionary, and we know this since ages in the ancient texts also. But I am astrologer, and I perceive only the linear time. That is why I'm so interested in the realistic time aspect. So please tell me, Joe, the time which is related to the other realm, the one that remains invisible for us. Can we speak about this more?
I can't say a lot. I know that when we leave our physical bodies, we go to what I class as the summerlands of spirit, which is our home. Time is just infinite. And I don't think that we could actually even gauge what that means until we're there. It's always bright, it's always daytime, it's loving, you know, there is no judgment, there is no illness, there is none of the horrible bits that we get here. Now, I'm going to actually just tell you a little bit of my own belief system here as well. Most mediums, when you speak to them, you will ask them, do they believe in reincarnation? They'll say yes. I don't. The only reincarnation I believe in is when we die in our physical body here, we leave the body and we reincarnate back home. Now, I say that because working on a physical level and speaking to many guides and many loved ones that manifest through the seances and this type of thing, I've asked all of them when they come in, have you ever reincarnated? Do you believe in it? Even my own guides say, no. We understand what you possibly may be referring to, but it's not how you understand it at all. I know of no one that's returned to the earth plane. I know of no one that's had several lives. So then the second question, people say to me, well, if you don't believe in reincarnation, do we come here to learn unconditional love? I don't think so. I'm not a traditional medium, Cressy, you probably noticed. I don't think so. Because the one thing we do have at our home, the Summerlands of Spirit, is unconditional love. We don't have any of the illnesses. We don't run around blowing each other up. What we don't have in the Summerlands of Spirit is fear. So I truly believe that we incarnate here to learn all about fear. Because every single one of us that walks the earth plane has fear of some sort. So you might be fearful that you're going to lose your home or your job. If you're a parent, you're fearful for the safety of your children. There's all these fears. I'm scared to go out in case I get mugged. I'm fearful of this, I'm fearful of that. If you look at life, everything is about us being fearful of something and trying to protect ourselves. And we can't experience fear in the Summerlands of Spirit. It's the one thing they don't have. They can talk about it, but you can't actually experience it. But it's just my opinion. So that's how I am. Then people say to me, if you don't believe in reincarnation, why are there people that are recalling past lives when they're regressed?
Yeah, that's...
My response to that is, are they? Or are they simply being used almost as a medium, whether they're mediums or not, in an altered state, which is what regression is, you actually can connect with someone on the other side. How do we know that it's not actually someone on the other side that's coming close and actually giving them the information about their own life when they were here? So I don't poo-poo it at all, and I'm not out to change anyone's mindset, but that's how I understand it. So I do have very different views.
We come on a very specific moment of time. Even the second is important. You know that we're descending in this very specific moment, which is so important for astrology, because when I will be reading your chart, if the time is not correct, then of course I will not be, my words will not be valid and reliable at all. My question is then, why is it so important that we descend into the, if you say that there is no reincarnation, why are we descending into this very specific moment? And again, I'm referring to the subject of time.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, it's not a question I've ever asked. I don't know.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
I mean, time, because my own guides have always said to me, you're never going to gauge what infinite time means until you're back here. I don't concern myself. My biggest project really is about proving to people that, you know, when you die, your physical body dies, you're not dead, you've just gone back home. And the way I do that is by allowing the physicality to be used and for your loved ones to speak to you directly, not through me, but just from a space in the room. You know, it would be interesting if someone actually asked that question. Maybe I will next time.
Do, yes. What about karma then? What is your idea of karma if there is no reincarnation? Because the karma is about the lessons that we didn't learn, that we have to improve in every new reincarnation.
Again, though, that comes down to probably your belief system.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I do believe in karma, but I think that karma probably gets played out when we go back home. unless it's something, you know, because some people say, oh, you never see them and the karmic effect. Well, hang on a minute, unless you actually live with someone, you don't know whether the karmic effect is hitting them. It could be that they do something really bad in business to a business partner, and to the outside world, they may look like they're flourishing, they've got away with it. But how do we know they've not received a letter and are actually being pursued by somebody else to them? So I think sometimes, you know, karma does come, but people are too embarrassed or too proud to actually say, do you know what, I've got my karma on that. God, you know. But again, it just comes down to personal belief, I think.
In astrology, there are the planetary spheres. You know, you have Earth, you have the Moon, you have Mercury, Venus, and the planetary spheres up to the stars, and then at the end you have just everything. You have God.
Yeah.
Is this realistic, Joe? How do you see this different reality from our reality? Because this comes from ancient texts, but do you have other different, more realistic experience than me, for example, on this particular question?
I think I've had different experiences to you. People say to me, where's the location of the summer lands of spirit? Well, 95% of our universe is dark matter. They don't know what that dark matter is. Is that our home? Maybe it is. Who knows? There's so much to inquire about and so much to learn about.
Of course.
And you'll get the answer to something, and then it will lead you off on a different path. So, you know, so I have no further understanding than you do, really. Just questions, which will lead to questions. But it's interesting.
Then what do you see, Joe, when somebody dies? The silver, is it true that there is this, what we read in the books, you know, the silver, how you call it?
I've never seen a cord.
Yes, the cord. Is this, yeah.
But I used to work in a nursing home, and very often, if I was there and someone had passed from this world to the next, I would see them almost just rise or sit up. Sit up and bye then, and off they go. I've never seen the cord. If I saw maybe someone having an out-of-body experience, which I've never seen, maybe then I might see a cord, because I do believe the cord gets broken when you're supposed to go and come back. But I've never seen it.
Yes. So you said that your main mission, so to say, is really to convince people that we are not dying, actually, that where are they going?
Convincing probably isn't appropriate. My mission is to give people the opportunity to experience these things and make up their own mind. So I don't think it's my job to convince them. It's just my job to actually put myself in a position of being used. And if people check out my Facebook page, there are hundreds of photos on there of spirit, faces that they recognize, and this type of thing. And also part of the work I do, like I say, is experimental. So working with experimental groups, scientists, if they want to, I'm quite happy for them to just go, hey, can you rock up and sit down, and we're going to do all these experiments using different lighting, different equipment. That's fine. Just don't tell me what you want to do before I get there, because I don't want it in my head. So that's really my mission, I think, to bring science and the supernatural together.
Oh, definitely. And Joe, what about guardian angels and angels? Can we speak about this? How do you see them? Because you mentioned this a few times already, but what is this in reality?
Well, I think maybe our guardian angel, although I've just come back from running a retreat, actually, and I was there with an angel practitioner who's wonderful. And I sat in on one of her workshops, and I didn't realize that angels have a hierarchy. So I was sort of listening to this, and it really resonated, actually. I'm quite open-minded to other people's opinions on subjects that I know nothing about. If something doesn't resonate, I'll just reject it and go, no, that's not feeling right to me. So I'll keep on searching. But I do believe that some people actually call their guides guardian angels. Maybe they are. I don't know. I know that certainly if I'm going out, I might be in traffic, and I might be saying, angels, can you clear the traffic? So I obviously have a belief system there, but I can't say that I would see them with big wings. But when I read for people, there may suddenly be a trail of feathers, and I go, oh, you've got to look out for the feathers because the angels are bringing them to you. So I do have a belief system, but I can't say as I really understand what that belief system is, if that makes sense. Probably because I've not investigated it enough. But I know that I must believe in them because I wouldn't call to them otherwise.
Yes, but who is, you mentioned guardian angel, and in what way they communicate with you? Like, are they the ones that are giving you guidance, or who is actually giving you guidance? How are you connected?
My guides give me guidance.
Guides.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm clairaudient and I'm clairvoyant. So literally a guide will just come in and speak to me, just tell me whatever. I don't think any of my guides particularly would want to be called angels, just because of the characters that they are. And also, if there is a hierarchy of angels, I think they would probably go, hang on a minute, you know, I'll get the angelic ones for you, but I'm not. So, but certainly my communication is with guides, not angels, as far as I know. Saying that, I do believe in earth angels. I believe that certain individuals, Princess Diana for one, was an earth angel. All the humanitarian things that she was doing. So I do believe that we have angels that come here and work on the planet amongst us all.
Okay, now, Joe, in the beginning, you mentioned about the attachment, the possessions, and this is very important because in our materialistic reality, this is very common. Can you talk a bit more about this, and also advise how people can help themselves to deal with these things on Earth?
Yeah, I do very occasionally get called to people who believe they've been possessed. I probably have only ever had 3 real cases of it, so very rare. Very scary, I have to say. So if someone really has got a possession, they almost become so debilitated that actually they can't even seek help themselves. It's generally loved ones that tend to call me. I think what people need to remember is that we're all able to protect ourselves to a certain degree. Our biggest protection is our voice. If you're walking down, people are surprised when I say that. If you're walking down the street and there's someone, male, female, doesn't matter, stood there crying, our natural reaction is to go over to them. Are you okay? Can I help you? And we want to put our arms around to protect them. So if you think of me being, you know, a nasty entity, if you're like that, I could quite easily get into your energy field and you probably wouldn't even notice. If you are walking down the street and there is someone who's maybe had a drink or angry, shouting, being abusive, our natural reaction is to cross the street and go around them. We don't want to go near them. So I always say to people, and particularly students, because I do teach a lot of young mediums, and I sort of say to them, look, you know, you're going to get a lot of energies that come into your field around you. And a lot of them will be good souls. But occasionally, there will be someone who makes them feel unnerved, this type of thing. I said, your biggest and quickest defense is your voice. Get away from me. As soon as you do that and you really shout, and it's like a tornado to spirit, and if there's someone coming in that we don't want and we do that, they're pushed right back. Now you've only got to do that a couple of times and the entity will go, I'm fed up with that, not going near her, can't be bothered, I'll go and find an easy victim. So always use your voice. That's your first line of defense. Second is the power of prayer, because the power of prayer is your intention. What we say in a prayer is our intention. So your mindset, if you keep a strong, healthy mind, you will probably never be susceptible. Okay,
Oh.
they are your two first lines of defense. Possession, people shouldn't worry about. It's so rare. It does happen. We had that film, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which was based on a true story, and I have seen a couple of cases like that. To be honest, if you don't know what you're doing, don't deal with it. Call someone who does. Call a priest, call someone. Don't try and deal with it, because A, it will scare you a lot, which is what it wants to do, and B, it could end up even harming the person that it's attached with. Okay. But mostly there is a little exercise actually that we call the golden shower, where you would literally do a quick visualization. You would close your eyes, see yourself stepping into a big shower cubicle, and golden water running all over you, and just watch it going through the plug hole. And if everyone could remember to do that every day, there wouldn't be so much bad energy. People wouldn't be so worried about it. But yeah, ordinarily we don't have.
This reminds me of amazing story from mythology that I want to tell you. When, according to the Mesopotamian mythology, the world was created by the gods, and Ki was the one who is considered like the father of humanity, of people. But then the other gods were angry at him and wanted to punish him for creating the human and giving people voice, because through their voice they can create. That's why I liked so much what you said, because because we are like creators with our voice.
We're creators of our own reality. You know, we are what we think, and it is a really important thing. And also, you know, that's how karma will work on. If you believe in karma, it's every thought as well as every action. So we very much create our own environment, our own reality that we live in.
Yeah. Another thing, we said possessions, but there is another type of possessions which come through black magic, and I will tell you that via astrology, I very often, when people ask me, I don't do this if they don't ask me, but I often see if they are victims of sorcery or black magic. So this is another type of possession. It works in a similar way, like they go to a bad priest, and the priest is creating those magical rituals, and then it works like possession because dark spirits or elementals are being sent to them. And then I always, when I say to the people that they are suffering sorcery and that they have to do something, here is my question to you: what to do? Because in my culture, and especially on the Balkans where I'm from, or in the Eastern cultures, in Arabic countries, this is very common, unbelievably common. So how can we really help people with this? It is a problem.
Well, with black magic, I wouldn't be able to respond on that because I don't understand black magic at all. I do have a belief in it, but I don't know how it works. I have no clue. You know, I don't practice it. I think the best way is about reclaiming your space as well. Because if you are saying, this is my space, and unless I've invited you into it, you can op it. And you just have to be, it's the firmness as well of how you say these things. You have to be really firm. You know, I've told you to hop it.
It's a game of power, right? It's in a game of power.
It is, yeah. Because all they want to do is control you. And all you want to do actually is not be controlled, but you're not sending that vibration out to control anybody else either. You're just saying, if you want to control someone, it ain't me. So, you know, whereas they might try to control, you're not. You're protecting your space. So you're not sending any bad thoughts out. You're just literally protecting your space.
Would protection with light work, Joe? Protection with light, like imagining, visualizing a light around yourself. Would this be helpful?
Well, in my home, I would go around each room in my home, including my garden, filling each room with light. Just a golden light. Fill my gardens, front and back. And then I put a big dome of light over my house.
How do you do that? How do you do that? Just like
visualizing. You know, walk into your room and just see the whole room right up to the corners filling with a beautiful golden light. That's it. If you do that, sometimes people can have like cold spots and things like that. And if you do that, leave the room for 20 minutes, go back in, and you will feel that the atmosphere has changed in there, you know. And just keep doing it until you're happy with how your home feels. And just do the same with yourself. Go to the shower, you know, right? Everything's all lovely. You can have family members who have no belief system in it, and actually you can still put a lovely dome around them. You're protecting them, you're protecting everything. It makes it very hard for energies to come close to you if you've done all that.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
but also
Very nice.
don't worry about it, because if you start worrying about these things, you'll start to attract them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Power. And also, when I go and, you know, if there's a possession case or whatever, I never name it other than it's an it. Well, it is going in a minute. You have to cut them off. Don't acknowledge them. You're just an it. You're nothing but an it.
Oh, yeah.
You might as well just go because you're an it. You know? Yeah, just take the power out of things, that's all.
This reminds me another thing that I want to ask you in the same relation, that most of the diseases in ancient Mesopotamia, and we're talking about 7,000 years ago, like, most of the diseases would be treated with exorcism because they believed that they are due to attachments, attacks. Does it make sense to you?
Well, not really. I mean, I've got a belief that we either get born into a healthy body or we get born into one that isn't healthy. That's it. Spirit are playing around with your camera. Your screen keeps going light and dark, light and dark. They'll do that. They'll do that. Yeah. Just so when your viewers watch, it'll be like, what's going on? You keep going dark, light, dark, light. It's just that they like to play around with equipment.
Oh, amazing. All right. All right.
Yeah.
So this doesn't completely make sense, but to a degree, they can, when they suck your energy, they can really create different conditions. So it is a game of power that we really overpower them and claim our. I'm repeating because this is.
If you have an attachment, it's more likely that you will get depression and things like this. And that actually, I don't feel is so much to do with the body. It's your mind, you know. And we create our own reality. So if you're born into a faulty body, you know, maybe you're born with one leg, you've just been born into a faulty body. If you are supposed to get things like I don't know, cancer or stuff like this, I feel that's just because you've got a faulty body, you know. It's sad but true.
How about justice?
Put it on hold for a sec, so I just need to get a tissue.
Okay, now I wanted to ask you about justice in the spiritual meaning of justice, like people who harm you, people who make sorcery on you, people who attack you energetically. Where is the justice? Sometimes we feel that justice is lacking. Where is this?
Well,
I
think because my belief system is that we come here to learn fear, that they're all fears. What you've just said, every one of them is, you know, the fear of being attacked energetically, the fear of this, the fear of that. So that just really kind of comes in with my belief system as to why we're here. You know, if you feel these things, it makes you fearful.
Yes.
You know, we have to experience a fear when we come here, because that's why I think we've come here, or several fears, you know. So maybe, you know, you're raised in a family and the parents, unfortunately, finances dip and the family ends up homeless. So you may not feel it as a child, you just know that your circumstances have changed. But then when you become an adult, you then carry that fear through. Oh my God, what if I lose my house? What if, you know, and my kids become homeless? So it's all about fears. Everything is linked to fear. So if you get attacked energetically, and it's resolved for you, you then have the fear of being attacked again energetically. You have to have a fear base there for you to be like fearful of it. And so it just links in with why I believe we're here. It's just everybody has different fears.
Fears, but in material way, you know, there are people which would harm others in a very and then sometimes, especially, and we are lacking this sense of justice in this reality. That is why I agree with you that fear is just something that is absolutely overpowering this reality.
But I think it makes sense when we go back to the Summerlands, we get back there, and I think then we go, oh right, okay. You know, it's everybody has to play a part in order for someone to actually feel fear.
Okay.
So this is why I think, and we're not supposed to know that we're here to learn that. It's only when we pass and we go back that we go, oh God, yeah, I went to, you know, I incarnated because I was supposed to learn about fear. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks so much for helping me. You know, and you kind of shake hands with people. So I don't look upon it that, you know, there's justice unless it's not part of the game plan. You know, someone's gone outside their remit, then there should be justice. But, you know, it's all about, but we're not supposed to remember, are we? We come here and we're all here going, why are we here? If we knew why we come,
why this amnesia? Why we forget then? Why we come with amnesia then?
Because if we knew that we were coming here to learn fear, we wouldn't be fearful, because we've only come here to learn about, oh, it doesn't matter. Well, that's why we've come to learn about fear. It takes the sting out of it if you know what you're supposed to be doing when you come here.
Fear can be traumatic, can create really traumatic, and what is then what is the sense to go through?
Traumatic. Yeah, fear is traumatic. What might be very traumatic for one person, somebody else would go, oh, I don't know, that's frightening at all. So their fear will be something completely for them. You know, we all have different triggers. You know, I'm fearful of snakes. You know, I've been bitten by one, but I'm fearful of snakes. I'm probably fearful of a lot of other things. But we all have a different fear because we're all unique, we're all different.
Give us remedies, because this is the biggest, the pressure, anxieties, fears.
I can't give you remedies. I can't give you a remedy for fear, other than just face it head on. If I could give people a remedy for, you know, not being fearful, I'd be a multi-millionaire. I don't know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you know, I work very much in the physical, and that's, you know, my job. That's my job. We all have different jobs when we come there. We all have different roles.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So we're coming with our expertise of something. You came with your expertise to be medium, and you're so different from the other people. Other people have different expertises. You say there is no reincarnation. How then you obtained your expertise, your knowledge, if there is no reincarnation?
I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Unless I just learn, I don't know. It's just a question that I can't answer. There are so many questions I just can't answer. I just don't know.
Yes,
you know,
and also,
I actually said that to Tony Stockwell once. We'd just come out of class and he had said something to me, and I looked at him and I said, why me? And his answer was, why not you? And actually, why not me? Why not you? You get great singers. Well, why can she sing and I can't? Well, why shouldn't she be able to sing and you can't? You know, there aren't answers for everything, unfortunately. In fact, there's very few answers this side of life. The knowledge will come when we go back home. It's almost like our memories are erased to come here. And that makes sense to me.
Yes, yes. So I would just summarize that we are creating our own reality with our thoughts and with the power of our speech. And it's up to us to free ourselves from attachments, elementals, sorcery, black magic. And I'm so glad that you said that, because it gives me very good feeling. Because
we all have the power to be able to free ourselves, you know. Just use those simple techniques, reclaim your space. You know, there's not a truer word when they say, you know, a mother would kill for her child. Well, that instinct should come in with you. If you feel something threatening you, you should use that same instinct. Yeah, you know, it's not acceptable. If something comes at you, you shout it. Get away from me, how dare you?
Yes, yes, this is amazing. And you are seeing these spirits, right? These elementals which are attached to people sometimes, and this is something really that's really.
I actually don't even look at most of them aren't elementals. Most of them are souls, like you and I.
So it is as real as we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. This gives me. Well, I asked you because also the remedy that you just gave us makes more sense when I know that you saw this, and I feel very good to know, because I told you so often I receive these questions and I really don't know what to advise people. It's very difficult to. Yes. Thank you so much, Joe. I will. Thank you so much. I will. People who like to contact you will find you. I will link your Facebook page under this video, and I will just say that.
Just private message me. Private message me on Facebook.
Yes.
Sometimes it might take me a day or two to get back to you if I've got a lot on. But yeah. Yeah, please do.
Thank you so much. Yes, and there I saw many amazing pictures of really spirits that you managed to invite, and they appear in their real shape in front of the people that are missing them. So this is amazing. Thank you so much, Joe, and I hope to have soon another discussion on the same topic. Thank you very much, and people are welcome to ask questions and comment. This would be lovely.
If they want to send any questions in too, I'm more than happy to answer them, Cressy. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Joe.
All right, my love. But pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and see you again soon. Thank you.